And good morning. Welcome back to Do I Need a Lawyer? My law firm handles Social Security disability claims, and Jason Mosteller is the attorney that manages that department for me. Jason, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Gary.
All right, let's get to our first question from one of our viewers regarding Social Security disability, and I'd like to get your assistance in helping answer this question. Hi, Gary. I am 55 years old, and I've been doing construction work all my life. As a result of an injury a few years ago, I had to undergo a surgery. The doctor fused a couple of my vertebrae in my lower back. Now the pain has become unbearable and I can no longer work. I've applied for Social Security disability and was just denied. Do I need a lawyer? I thank you for the question. Jason, let's start with that question. Do I need a lawyer? What do you think?
Well, first, I'm sorry to hear about this situation. Certainly, I would highly recommend he contact an attorney to help him with his claim. The application for Social Security disability, as you know, Gary, is very complicated, especially if you have been denied benefits.
Well, Jason, let's talk about the process. I know the Social Security Administration has a 5-step process they use to determine if a person is disabled and eligible for disability benefits. I'd like for us to go over the 5 steps now for our viewers. So step 1, are you working? The Social Security Administration wants to know if you're working. Explain that to us if you would.
Sure. Gary, what they'll do is they'll look to see if you're engaged in what they call substantial gainful activity. That means, did you work or earn more than $1,040 per month in 2013? At that point, you're not eligible to receive Social Security disability payments.
And number 2, is your condition severe according to the Social Security Administration guidelines? Jason, what does that mean?
Sure. The applicant's condition must interfere with their ability to do that job for it to be considered what Social Security calls severe. The condition must prevent you from working for at least 12 months, and then if it is, they go to the next step.
Now, step number 3, is your condition listed in the Social Security Administration's list of disabling conditions? Explain this step to us.
Well, sure, this is where it even gets more confusing, but the bottom line is the Social Security Administration has 2 lists of conditions that it considers for disability. One list is for children, the other is for adults. Let's talk about the list for adults. Now, this list is broken down into 14 different categories, different parts of your body. These include musculoskeletal, your senses, including your speech, respiratory, and cardiovascular. If the applicant's condition is not listed, then the department will determine whether or not the condition is equal to one of those disabling conditions on that list.
Now, step number 4, is the applicant able to perform the same work they did in their past? Jason, tell us about this step.
Absolutely. If the claims examiner at the Social Security Administration believes that the applicant is able to do the same kind of work they've done in the past, then they will deny their claim for benefits.
And step number 5, is the applicant able to do any other work? So if you can't do the same kind of work you did in the past, the examiner wants to find out if you can do any kind of work. Jason, explain that for us if you would.
Sure, and this is the big one. The claims examiner then will look at your application. They review your medical condition, look at your age, look at the skills you have, how far did you go in school. Then they look to see if you're capable of doing any other types of work in the economy. If they feel that you are, then they will deny your claim.
All right, let's assume someone gets through this 5-step process. Jason, what are the chances the person will be approved for Social Security disability on their initial application?
Well, it's very poor. Between 1999 and 2009, on average, only 28% of Social Security disability claims were approved on the initial application.
Wow. So what happens if your case falls in the 72% category, where your initial application is denied by the Social Security Administration?
Gary, at that point, you start the appeals process, and there's various time deadlines that apply to these appeals. And if you don't file the appeal within the deadline, guess what? You've got to start the process all over again.
All right, Jason, when should a person get an attorney involved in the Social Security process?
In my opinion, it's simple. It's from the very beginning. We assist our clients in the initial application in the hope of giving them the greatest chance of being declared disabled sooner in the process.
Jason, thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, if you or a family member is in the process of applying for Social Security disability benefits, listen, I highly recommend you speak with an attorney as soon as possible regarding the application process. But please, make sure you speak with an attorney that is a specialist in this area of the Social Security law. You have absolutely nothing to lose by calling a lawyer, but think of all you can lose if you don't. And if you'd like to speak with me, with my law firm about your claim, we make it easy for you. Just pick up the phone and call right now, 770-934-8000. Our intake specialists are standing by right now to speak with you. 770-934-8000. And we'll be back in just a moment.